Welcome to the Science section of our ACT review. Today we will be looking at Passage 5. Passage 5 is a data representation passage. If we briefly read through the paragraphs that are listed at the beginning, we should be able to pull out a couple of details. So, our passage is looking at hoof infections and talking about dietary supplements and the possibility of increased urination if given a dietary supplement. So we're looking at two groups of horses, Group R and Group S. Group R received the dietary supplement, Group S received the placebo. And then we're looking at their urine output. So we're looking at two groups, one with a supplement, one with a placebo, and we're measuring their urine output. That's what this whole passage is about. So I'm going to go ahead and put my trend lines on for both Group R and Group S. Notice here as I move from day 1 to day 7, I see an increase in urination for Group R, but I don't see any trends for Group S, the group that received the placebo. Chances are that this will become a question a little bit later on. Question 25. Which of the following generalizations best fits the results of the study? This is a pattern question. We're going to go through each answer choice. So here is our data from Table 1. Answer choice A. The effects of dietary supplement X on urinary output cannot be immediately detected. This is true. If we look at the urine output between Group R and Group S in the first 3 days, there's no big difference between the average urine output. However, we see that change a little bit later. So that's the correct answer. But like I said a few days ago, we need to make sure that we're going through every answer choice. So let's look at answer choice B. Dietary supplements should be administered over time in order to be effective. That may or may not be true. However, that's not what our data is actually looking at. So that's not the correct answer. C. Dietary supplement X has no effect on the urinary output in horses. Again, like I said before, when we hit days 4 through 7, we are starting to see an increase in the urinary output. So that answer choice is incorrect. And then D, the horses in Group R urinated less frequently than did the horses in Group S. We notice especially around day 5, 6, and 7, that we're seeing a huge increase in urination from Group R over Group S. So that answer choice is also incorrect. Question 26. In order to best determine the effects of dietary supplement X in this experiment, one should examine what? This is a scientific method question. Again, we're going to go through each answer choice and go through this by process of elimination. So, answer choice F, the type of feed that each horse was given. We don't need to look at this because in our experiment, we were told that all of the horses are receiving the same type of food and the same amount of food. So that won't help us. G, the amount of feed that each horse was given. Again, they're receiving the same type and the same amount, so that also won't help us. H, the urinary output over time of each horse. If we go back to our passage, we see that we're looking at 20 horses in 2 groups of 10, right? So we just have 2 groups. So our answer choice is H, and the reason why is because we're looking for any answer choice that will give us more data points. This choice will give us more data points. But again, let's look at all of our answer choices. Answer choice J, the average urinary output of a third group. We wouldn't choose this answer because all we're looking at is a group that gets the supplement and a group that does not. So picking up a third group wouldn't actually help us in any way. Question 27. Based off the information in Table 1, on which day did the control group have the highest urinary output? This is a detail question. So if we bring our table up again, our control group is the group that received the placebo, Group S, and the highest urinary output happened on day 1. So our answer is D. Question 28. During the study, several of the horses in Group R began showing signs of dehydration. According to the passage, what is the most likely cause of this? This is a detail question. So, back in our passage, we saw a sentence that said that one of the side effects was increased urination, which can sometimes lead to dehydration. If we go back to our table, we notice an increase in urination, which should according to our passage, lead in an increase of dehydration, or answer choice H, the high urinary output of the horses in Group R. Question 29. Which of the following statements is supported by the data represented in Table 1? This is a pattern question, so if we go back to our table, which I've included our trend lines on, this will help us to answer this question. So if I'm looking at average urine output as the days increase, I notice that I only see an increase for Group R. So if I go to my answer choices, the only choice that works with this is answer choice B. Now, if you draw your trend lines on as soon as you get the passage, this question will take much less time to answer. So do that first when you're reading your passage and not when you get to the question asking for it. Last question. Question 30. Did the results of the study show that dietary supplement X could cause dehydration in horses? This is an inference question. I'm going to put my data back up and leave the trend lines on there. I'm noticing an increase in urination, and we talked about this with a previous question. We know that, yes, dehydration can be caused by this dietary supplement. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of answer choice H and J. So now we're looking at why does this supplement cause dehydration? Is it because we have urinary output that has increased, or a urinary output that has remained constant, right, for the control group? We know that the control group did not have the supplement, so we can't say that that's what caused dehydration in the control group. We're looking at only the dehydration that's happening with Group R, or the group that received the dietary supplement. So my answer choice is F. That's all for today's ACT questions. Please remember, make sure that you are drawing all over the charts and tables that you're seeing in these passages. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.